What's going on YouTube? Cloverbells here, back with another Scarlet Violet video, and today we're hopping back into the ranked ladder to showcase a really cool Reshiram team. So this is a team that made day 2 at NAIC. It was made by Hunter O'Brien Grayson, and they were kind enough to loan me the rental code here, and we'll also put the paste and video description below. But one might ask, why is someone using Reshiram in regulationI, and how are they able to have success with it? And don't forget, also in a recent Victory Road tour, I think it was the second one 2 weeks ago, there was also another top cut Reshiram team as well. That one was Reshiram with Grimmsnarl screen. So why all of a sudden can you use Reshiram in this format? Well, if you look at its stats, it's actually quite bulky. Okay, there's not a whole lot of things that can, just one-shot it, right? There are some ground coverage moves, obviously, but again, Reshiram's bulk is actually really strong, and you have the support to help it, right? And then at the same time, look at what you have here. You've got Ogerpong, Amoongus, and Incineroar there. So a lot of good defensive backbone mons. And then just like Blue Flare is going to do a ton of damage into a lot of different mons. Even at neutral hit, Blue Flare with Life Orb as a stab move, as long as you hit, it can run through a lot of Pokemon here. And Turbo Blaze is actually really cool because, again, you get to ignore stuff like Terapagos and its ability and just melt through its HP. So I think that's also relatively useful there. And then, Dragon and Fire is actually pretty cool typing because, again, you remove your Fairy weakness. You're actually just neutral to it. And there's not really a whole lot of Fairy coverage right now besides something like a Flutter main, either going for like Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam, and you eat that for lunch, technically. Yes, you do have the Dazzling Gleam from a Miraidon, but they have to Terra for that, right? And if they have to Terra Miraidon just to be able to kill a Reshiram, you've won. Okay, I will just say that much. But yeah, like, again, just Draco Meteor, Earth Power is also really useful against other fire types, right? Sometimes can't really use Blue Flare against a fire type, but this is why Earth Power coverage is actually really good. But the rest of the team, Calyrex, Amoongus, Incin, you know what you're getting there. Sometimes you might not even need the Reshiram, and you could just win with the Calyrex immediately. But what's also really useful here is actually the Choice Scarf Annihilate here, because you could do Final Gambit plays, right? Just nuke something, remove a restricted right off the bat. Your HP stat is high enough where you can invest enough to remove stuff like Koraidon and Kyogre's, base 90s and whatnot. And then, the Miraidons too. So you can actually just outspeed them, remove a Miraidon right off the rip. And then if they are max HP, right? And then from there, just set up your Trick Room, right? You could do Calyrex Annihilate, nuke something that maybe might give you some trouble, and then just set up Trick Room, go into something like a Amoongus or an Incin, and then just go from there, right? So it's actually relatively useful. You got the Scarf there. You can even Shadow Claw a focus sash Shadow Rider, do a lot of damage there. And then you know what the Amoongus can do in the Trick Room, right? Spore, Rage Powder stuff. So Ogerpon's pretty useful. It can be a nice little niche pick into the Kyogre games, especially like Urshifu for that matter, right? So that's also really good, especially when you Terra Fire the Calyrex. You're weak to the Urshifu Surging Strikes, but this is where Ogerpon can be relatively useful. So you've got Fake Out, Redirection, Double Redirection, and you got the speed option here with Trick Room. Okay, so, shout out to Hunter for getting day 2 with this. So hopefully we can get some cool wins with Reshiram here today. So without further ado, let's just go straight into the ranked battles. All right, we got the Paint Dog shenanigans here with the Shadow Rider and, of course, the Smeargle. There's Incin and Miraidon there. Okay. Yeah, man, that's a scary team, actually. Okay, he's got the the Iron Jugulis there, looking for the Tailwind idea. Snarl is not going to be good for Reshiram, that's for sure. But if we can nuke it immediately, that would be also very interesting. If he leads Incin, we can also use the Annihilate. However, if he leads the Smeargle, not good. How do I want to do this? I think what we can do, especially because we have ideas here, I think we can leave Reshiram in the back. I think that'll be like our endgame win condition here. He's got a couple Fake Out mons. He's got Spore Pressure. Amoongus, not amazing here. The Ape could be cool, especially with like Final Gambit stuff. Alright. I think we can actually just lead this thing. Okay, and then go Incin here. Calyrex at the back, along with this thing, the Wellspring Ogerpon. I think the redirection support later on could be quite good. So no Scarfape shenanigans this time. And we're leaving the Amoongus behind here. But I think Incin is going to be a little bit important if we can preserve it well. Alright, but let's see how he leads. Okay. Yeah, he led the Smeargle. I thought he might do that, but that means he can't Spore, right? And Dragon in front of Dragon here. Okay, now what's also pretty interesting is we can Fake Out and just remove the Smeargle immediately. I don't think that thing is Terra Ghost. Miraidon's gonna go for a straight nuke here, but this is also why we have Terra Fairy. Doesn't really have a way to... He can swap in the Calyrex, but I think just removing the Smeargle immediately is going to be good. Even like Earth Power into the Miraidon is also like quite good here. Alright, but I just don't want to be in front of that Smeargle idea, so I think we'll just simply Fake it out. He could straight Draco here, which wouldn't be like amazing, but not the worst thing in the world, because then we can get in the Calyrex after that and potentially just set up Trick Room here. So I can Terra, right? And I think I will, just so that I don't have to die, and we'll just Fake out the Smeargle here. All right, let's see what happens. It's actually going to swap the Miraidon. That's fine by us. All right, so we did not need to Terra. All right, and then we get to see what's coming out here. It is the Iron Jugulis. Could put out a potential Snarl here. Not going to be great here. Alright, and then we're going to see some speed interactions. We don't have any speed on this Incineroar here. So he could have just gone for Fake Out into my Reshiram, which would not be great. And then my attack just gets whiffed here. But we do have the Terra Fairy coming out. Alright, let's see what happens here. Ah, he didn't. Alright, so he's going to let us Fake Out the Smeargle here, which is good for us. And we get off a Blue Flare. So Smeargle officially off the board. Now, that means he gets a free switch back into Miraidon if he wants to do that. Okay. Now we do have the Terra Fairy, which is good against the dark attacks, potentially the Snarl against the... Oh, he actually just goes into the Calyrex here. So Snarl is not going to be great here. There could be a Sash on that Calyrex, you never know. But I can also just go for a straight up nuke here. It's not a whole lot that he has that wants to take this. Ideally, he might just Terra the Calyrex now. Alright, and then a Snarl would not be great, but Ogerpon could be useful later, but who knows. Question is, if he's Terra Fairy, that's going to be very risky for us, but I think just going for that big nuke right now, and then just, again, going for the knockoff is also going to be useful here. If he Snarls, I mean, I think we still pick up the KO here, just because. Right, so there's the Force Terra. Now, we just have to pray this isn't a Terra Fairy Calyrex. Otherwise, that would be very bad. And it's Terra Dark. That's okay. So, we're just going to pray that a -1 with Life Orb is enough to take out this Calyrex here. So, there's the Tailwind. I don't think he needed to do that, but he's going for it anyway. So, that means no Snarl, actually. Alright, it's just straight Astral Barrage. Listen, I'm fine with this. Alright, because that means Reshiram might be able to just pick up this KO here. If not, then the Incin can. There's the Sash. Okay, that's fine by us. And then we just go for the knockoff right now. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Not bad. I'll take it. Alright, and it was actually... Oh, it actually just spell tagged there. So, he had decent amount of bulk there if he just lived there. At -1. Alright, so here comes Miraidon. I want to preserve Incineroar. So he's got Tail, he's got Miraidon here. This is where like Ogerpon's going to be really useful. And he already Terra'd the other thing, right? So if I can just Fake Out and just set up Trick Room, that's what I want. So I may just give him the Ogerpon here. I might just let Reshiram die in all honesty. Right? Because this thing is like kind of useless now. I'll just go for Earth Power here. I'll go for the Ogerpon here. I want him to kill the Reshiram. That's what I really want him to do. Alright. Let's see what he locks himself into now as well. Yeah, could have also just straight up Draco'd. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he went for the Air Slash there. That's okay. Okay, this is good, right? If he kills, perfect. Now, we go into Instant Calyrex. We click Fake Out. and click Trick Room, and that should be it, because again, he cannot Terra anymore. He's got 2 things weak to Ice. So we preserve the win condition, which is in this case the Incineroar and the Calyrex here. And now we could do fun stuff. Okay, I don't think he can kill Calyrex here. I think his only shot is to get the flinch on the Calyrex. That's his only play, in my opinion. Right, because I don't want to take a huge nuke. Actually, I think in that case, well, he's locked into Dazzling Gleam, which I think Calyrex can just survive anyway, right? Even if he crits, it's just non-stab. So rather than risk getting the flinch here, I think I will just fake out this thing. And now I'll set up the Trick Room, and we should be fine, right? A crit does not beat me because, you know, this Calyrex actually has a lot of special defense bulk, and it's a non-stab anyway. So I'm willing to do this. All right, here's the fake out. Okay. And the Miraidon here, yeah, it just has to go for the Dazzling Gleam. That's fine. Calyrex easily takes this, and here's the Trick Room. And now we click everyone's favorite button on a Calyrex Ice Rider. You guessed it, it is going to be the Glacial Lance here. So we can just easily click off a knockoff over here, remove the Specs idea, and just click the Glacial Lance, and then we're chilling. All right, that should do it. All right, here's the knockoff. Yeet. Oh, that's a lot of damage. All right, we get the crit there. I don't think we needed it. And here is the finishing blow, the Glacial Lance. And that's it, right? So actually, Reshiram did quite a bit here, right? Picked up, well, almost 2 KOs, right? Which is good. But in the end, the win condition was always instant and Calyrex. Fake out Trick Room, then click the Glacial Lance button. We didn't even need the Ogre Pond there. It was just a filler, just to make sure I had the final play of fake out and Trick Room. I just needed him to actually kill the Reshiram there. So by him killing both of my mons, it actually helped me because I got the end board state that I wanted. Oh no, what is this? Okay, we've got Eternatus and Lunala here. Okay. I mean, sure. Glacial Lance looks pretty strong. Okay, there is an Ursaluna. Amoongus could be good here. You know, just putting things to sleep and whatnot. Right, I just think the Amoongus pressure is actually really, really strong. I could even just Final Gambit something right off the bat. I could go for coaching. So lots of ideas here. I think just something like this could be good. Choice Scarf Shadow Claw could be a play. Right, with the Annihilate there, I don't know if we need to. Why does he have a Clefable there is my question. Instead of a Clefairy. I think Reshiram just as a nuke is also like really, really good. Again, you know what? I'm going to do something a little bit different. How about, I think maybe we can just even lead the Instant again. Go into the Calyrex. Do I need a Amoongus? The Mushroom could be good. Let's go this. Let's go Wellspring Ogre Pond. Let's try that. I think it's the same 4 that I brought to the other game. Yeah, it is. So, we'll have to wait and see. He's got Rillaboom on his trainer card, okay? Rillaboom support. Alright, it's got Eternatus Clefable. It's got a Redirector and a Dragon here. Is this the Cosmic Power stuff? God, I hope not. Alright, so once again, we feared the Dynamax Cannon. Okay, that's always a thing that we have to be afraid of. Again, we have the Draco Meteor pressure. We can just take out this Eternatus right from the rip. Does he have a Fairy type there? Well, he actually just let it, so... I think I just go for it, right? Now, he is faster. I don't want to be taking a Dynamax Cannon, so I think I just make the same turn 1 play that I did last game, right? And then we just simply fake out the Redirector. And instead of the Smeargle, it's a Clefable. So I'm going to do the same play here. Let's see what he does. He might just also Terra the Eternatus too, but I'll have to wait and see. Alright, and there it is. There is a Terra, but again, so we force out this Terra. It is the Eternatus. Is this Fairy? God dang it. Alright, so this is what we feared last game, right? Where They have this Terra option, right, for the fairy on this dragon type here, right? So, again, so what might end up happening here is there could be a whiff of dragon moves from both sides, or he clicks Meteor Beam into my Incin, and I'm very sad. So, one or two options could happen here. Alright. And there's the Protect. Okay, so nothing's happening on this side. Let's see, does he go for the Dynamax Cannon on the Eternatus, or does he go for Meteor Beam on the Incin? Right, something could happen. Let's see. It is a it's the Cosmic Power set. Man, why do people play this? Okay, so change up of plans here. So there is the Terra Fairy. Okay, you figured it would be something like this. All right, so I think we can just do this, and I guess we have to knock off or Parting Shot this slot. All right, there's the Follow Me, of course. Alright, I think this is just going to... He's just going to keep doing the Cosmic Power stuff. Yeah. Alright, he's going for the toxic stuff. We know what he's doing. But here's the Blue Flare. It's a lot of damage into Clefable. Right, unfortunately, it's not modest, so we're going to miss out on that KO there. Okay. We'll just pivot here. I can get Amoongus and put that thing to sleep. Be great, but I don't have that option. I'm gonna have to go into Calyrex here, try something. Alright, there's the Calyrex. Alright, now he does have an Ursaluna. Okay. Actually, all of the rest of his team is like rather slow. There is a Calyrex there. He's doing Cosmic Power stuff. And I kind of want to just nuke this thing. Maybe I get a lucky crit there. He might just protect the Clefable. I'll go for the Trick Room anyway, just to try. Yeah, there's the Protect. That's an easy one to read, but I don't know if this is going to be able to do a whole lot here. Alright, there is a Sludge Bomb. Shouldn't do a whole lot, just because he's not like the damaging set. Actually did more than I thought. Alright, we lose the HP, of course, and then we do set up the Trick Room here. Clefable did click Protect, so he might have to switch out here, potentially. Alright, there is the leftovers, of course. We could even get out Incin and fake out something next turn, potentially. Did not bring Farigiraf, otherwise maybe you might have done something there. But, let's see. I may have to just go here with the Incin. And Parting Shot. We'll preserve a Reshiram there. It's got 1 HP. 1 nuke is all I need. Potentially, right? I could also just stay in and just say like, look, I want the free switch. Okay. Love to get the burn there. If I missed, it's not going to be great. But let's go for the Glacial Lance anyway. Yeah, it's going to swap here. Doesn't want his Clefable to die immediately. Could have also... Yeah, there's the Lunala. Could have also Blue Flared that slot, just in case. Right, here's the Glacial Lance. So we'll break Shadow Shield at least. That's decent damage. Alright, and then Reshiram will get... I would love a burn on that, potentially, because I know I get the free switch by dying this way. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to get it, but yeah. Anyway, oh, it's Fire Spin. Okay, but he does miss. Alright, so he's doing those shenanigans here. Alright, so leftovers again. And we have, he terraed this and he did not terra Lunala. So that means we have ideas here with knockoff into Lunala, especially after Shadow Shield was broken. We still have Trick Room on our side. Incin is back again. Maybe the Eternatus protects, or maybe he can, maybe he cannot. Either way, I think knockoff is just always safe into this slot. And then another Glacial Lance here. Just the easiest play that we can make. We're trying to take advantage of these Trick Room turns. I don't think we need to fake out here. I think this is just always our best play. This is better than minimize stuff, at least. Alright, I think this is within range of Glacial Lance. I think. Alright? You should have Protect on that thing, right? One would hope. Well, let's see, what is the... there could be Wide Guard, right? But then that means he gives me the Lunala for free, right? So he's gonna have to... Oh, he's actually just gonna swap it. So he's gonna go into the Clefable, I guess? Right? And then we get to knock off the leftovers at the very least, unless he protects. Alright? Oh, our Incin is actually faster. Wait, what is our... Oh, we're Adamant. Oh, bro, I wish I looked at the pace a little bit sooner. That's a mistake. But this is single target anyway. Alright, so this could be good for us anyway. So no Protect on that Eternatus, and we get rid of it. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so that ends up working out for us because now we're +1. All right. And now he's got a weakened Lunala here. We have a lot of Spadef. All right, we still have Vincent, and we still have the Ogerpon too, right? So we have ideas. Okay. And he just forfeits. All right, that's perfect. That's all I needed to see, right? So it ends up working out for us. Again, we didn't really need to switch out the Reshiram. All we had to do was just get a little bit more damage, and then we kill ourselves, and then we get the free switch into what we wanted, and now the Calyrex could just potentially steamroll there. So I am totally fine with this. Okay, we've got Koraidon and Klefki over there. There's a Zamazenta as well. That's a weird team there. But the Zamazenta actually makes sense. Again, Wide Guard support for the Glacial Land. So you would imagine both of those come. It gives me the Sun. Blue Flare is going to run through his entire team, actually. Right? You know, like Reshiram Life Orb, like even if Koraidon resisted, it's still going to hurt, man. If I can burn it, that would also be like very, very good. So honestly, I think Reshiram comes as a lead again, believe it or not. And even bro, I keep leading this thing. I could also just go for like, okay, hold on, hear me out here. What about just straight up Calyrex Annihilate, right? Because then I can do like coaching stuff. I can stop him from leading Incin. And Koraidon could also be like not full HP there. I think Reshiram comes, and I do like Incin. I don't think we need it. Maybe Amoongus could be good. Just to be able, again, Amoongus like redirecting all those fighting coverage moves and whatnot. You know, he doesn't like it. But again, we have the final Gambit play, right? Because again, the Annihilate has the Scarf. So if he is max HP Koraidon, he's got another thing coming here. So let's see what he decides. Okay, hello. There's a Flutter main too. Now the question now I'm going to ask is, does that Flutter main have Taunt? Right? Because we can easily just Glacial Lance here, right? And then I could even set up Trick Room, go into Amoongus here. So the problem is the Flutter main is faster, right? Because he's going to get the speed boost here. But if he targets the Annihilate, then that means free Trick Room for me. Right? I would imagine. I can still Terrafire this, go for the Trick Room here. And, oh, you know what I could even do? I could even, like, coach. But, yeah, let's just set up Trick Room here, and let's give him a choice. Alright, I'm gonna Final Gambit. If he takes out my ape, okay, so be it. But, let's see. I'm gonna make him target something. Alright. I want to see what he does here. I'm forcing his hand. Right? Do you kill the ape or you giving me Trick Room here? Okay, he went for Taunt. So that's fine because, again, that means we get to get off this Final Gambit. Alright, so restricted for Annihilate. Sounds good to me. Okay. And now we can do other things, like click Spore. If I can't use Trick Room, that's okay, but I do have the Amoongus here. And that Flutter Mane is not really going to do a whole lot of damage into a lot of our other stuff too, so yeah. Alright, there's the Incin. Okay, so that's good for him, I guess. So I can put the Flutter Mane to sleep. If he fakes out, okay, sure, not the end of the world here. Otherwise, if he just goes for Taunt, also not the end of the world. I want to at least get something to sash here. Alright, so I'll still go for the Lance. And I'll go for the Spore. Could be Goggles Incin. Let me see what he wants. Actually, oh yeah, I can't click so, alright, so let's be aggressive here. Let's go here and let's actually just Spore this slot. And then we can always just do like Pollen Puff stuff there. So he fakes out the Calyrex, that's okay. Alright, not the end of the world there. It's another Taunt. Okay. But you can only do that so much because, again, that means no damage is coming out of the board here. And at some point, you're going to have to do something. Alright, so ideally Zamazenta's in the back. I don't... If the Incin has Flare Blitz, it's also not great. Alright. We can start clicking Glacial Lance at least. And... I want to Pollen Puff this thing. Just to be able to go through here. If he's got Will-O-Wisp, okay, something else is gonna take the Glacial Lance. Probably Zamazenta, right? Oh, it's actually... Wait, what? He brought the Klefki? Huh. Alright. I guess that works out for him, right? But we've got Reshiram. That still did some damage, man. Alright. Oh, it is Flare Blades. Into what? The Amoongus? Alright. Okay, but here's the thing. We've got Reshi coming in. Okay, and your taunts are only gonna do so much here. Unless you've got taunt on the Klefki too. And we have the taunt shook off because... Yeah, so now what we can do... Alright, that Klefki, you can set up the screens all you want, but Fluttermane can only do so much here. I'm surprised no Zamazenta in the back there. That's crazy. You brought Klefki in the back there. But you lost your restricted and you're left with not much offense here. So I question that play, but I think this is always going to be the Trick Room play. Alright, and then this is always an Earth Power play. We're faster than Incin. I don't care if you set up your screens. I think we're okay here. Now, you could do Thunder Wave, which you actually did do. Oh, but into the Calyrex. That's okay. I don't mind that. That makes me slower in Trick Room, but of course the Paralysis is going to be annoying. Here's the Earth Power. Good job, Reshiram. Goodbye, Incin. Alright, and we can resist a lot of the Fluttermane stuff here because we are relatively neutral. The Fluttermane investments, I don't know. Maybe it's just Timid 252. Oh, bro. Okay. But how far can the Fluttermane carry you is my question. Alright. Alright, so there's Photosynthesis. I still want the Trick Room up. I'm going to do as much as I can here with the Trick Room here. I would love to go for the Blue Flare play into, ideally, the Flutter, or I just blast off the Klefki here. It's actually relatively annoying. Alright, we're going to see a Terra here. Maybe it's the Klefki, or the Flutter. It is the Flutter. Maybe it's Terra Fairy. It is Fairy. This is probably Moonblast, but I think we can take this. Because Reshiram is a goat. Just need the Klefki off the board here. It is just straight up Thunder Wave, looking for the Para Hacks. Alright, I can't blame him. That's his way out here. Alright, we are going to see... Oh, it's actually just Deekling. We should eat this then, because Calyrex is not going to take a whole lot of damage here. Reshiram eats that for breakfast because of its bulk. There's the Blue Flare. That's all I needed. Alright, there's no way Fluttermane can win this now unless we get parried 69 times. Alright, but here we go. And there is the Trick Room. Perfect. That's it. That's all I needed. Alright, now, unless I just get parried on both. The Sun is gone. Alright, and Proto is gone, of course. But now we can just click Glacial Lance here. And we'll just go for 100% accurate moves. Earth Power is all we need here. Alright. Protect there. I guess you gotta stall for... This is the time where I want to get paralyzed, right? Because you click Protect. Alright, Glacial Lance comes out. Alright, you know he's got the Sash there. That means no Moonblast. Okay, that unfortunately I hit both moves. Alright, that's the turn I wanted to get parried. But here we are. Alright, so once again, we'll click Glacial Lance again. And we'll click Earth Power here. And hopefully we don't get parried here. Alright, there's perfect. I just needed one. Right? One is all I really needed here. I know he's got a Sash, but still. Alright, there's the Sash. Now Reshiram just has to be good here. And okay. There's one. Alright, we're clicking Shadow Ball. Alright, it's just D-Gleam. We can still eat this, technically. Ideally, he protects again. Oh boy. But I think Calyrex can still bring this home. I think that's all he wants to do. Is just alternate protects here. Oh, he says no. I'm just going to give it up here. Alright, there it is. Glacial Lance comes out. I think you got to play to your outs here, right? You just go for the protects until, but I guess maybe in a tour you might do it, but yeah. So Annihilate comes in the clutch here. We're able to take out a Restricted right off the bat. And him not bringing Zamazenta and Klefki in the back was an absolute throw in my opinion. Giratina-Origin. That is a mon that we're supposed to do a team building around soon later this week. You've got Koraidon with it. So there's the strong ghost type with the fighting type there. Oh, what's actually going to make this annoying is actually the Scream Tail. Disable Encore is actually cancer there, man. He's going to disable and Encore my Calyrex Ice Rider, so I can't click Glacial Lance because it's a lot of ice weaknesses here. It's not a whole lot of ice resist, except for the Incin there, or you're forced to Terra something. However, if you Terra Fire the Giratina, we don't really have a great way to hit it except for this Ogre Pond. We do have the Annihilate there. So let me also think about something here. If you're max, I think you want to just start out strong here. Maybe we go a different direction here. Maybe I feel like Reshiram could be good here. I want to see what he does. Okay, we'll lead the same or that we did last game. We'll bring Reshiram in the back. And I think if something Terra fires, I think we just have to bring the Ogre Pond and hit it with it. So I think this is the way. We also get Amoongus immunity if he decides to bring it, just in case we do go for the Trick Room idea, or maybe he's got Gothitelle ideas, who knows? It's quite the team he's got there. But we'll see. Alright, Mr. Zenkro. Got here. Alright, it's gonna be Gothitelle Scream Tail. Okay. It's not what I want to see. However, I've got Shadow Claw ideas. You can't fake me out. I've also got coaching plays, believe it or not. Okay? You've got Fake Out, so you can definitely do that. You know what? I'm just gonna go right up the rip, bro. I've got Shadow Claw targets. I do have that. And Shadow Claw the Gothitelle right now. It would be a play. I could also just click Glacial Lance. You know what? I'm feeling a little bit of interest here. Let's just go ahead and coach this thing, bro. Oh, that's fine. I'll take that. Did you Fake Out? There's no... Okay. Or did you click Trick Room, hoping that I would click Trick Room here? Well, let me see. Alright, there's the Glacial Lance. Alright, what are we doing into this Gothitelle here? Alright, we're almost killing it. And he clicked Taunt. Okay, well, that didn't do anything for you. Okay, so here's what I think he's going to do. I think now he may just try and lock me in with something like Disable, right? Problem for him is we've got an Annihilate here. I actually can't do that. Alright, I can try and click this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna click this. Alright, and we're still going to click Coaching, bro. Oh boy! Dang it. Alright, he clicked that move. Alright, did you click Disable? You did click Disable, but I didn't go for that. Alright, you disabled my Glacial Lance. Okay. Alright, you can't disable everything. So now the question is, do you bring in Giratina now? Alright, because again, there's the Gothitelle. Alright, this thing is +2. Alright, so at some point, you're gonna have to do something. I can't hit the Giratina all that well. I think now he's gonna try and swap it in. Because again, let me see how many turns. Alright, 3. Oh, that's a lot. Alright, but we still got high horsepower plays here. Scream Tail did click Disable. Gothitelle also did that. I think the Gothitelle's slot is switching out. And I think we just got to keep buffing this thing. Alright, because he doesn't want to give me the... Yeah, see, this is probably Giratina. Because you know, as I can't click the Glacial Land. Oh, it's actually Amoongus. Oh, okay. Huh. Alright. We're fine there. Click an Encore. Okay. But first, we click Coaching. So this Calyrex is +3 now. Okay. And here is the high horsepower slot going into the Scream Tail. And it's almost dead. Alright? It's almost dead. And I've got one turn left of Taunt. Okay, and... Man, I really wish I could switch this. But again, I can switch. You know, that's the other thing. Like, I can switch and go into Reshiram. That'd be funny. Like, high horsepower is still going to be, like, a very powerful play. Amoongus doesn't want to take that either. So, I'm still going to keep coaching, man. Like, there's no damage on the board. I mean, you're clicking Encore, but that's what I want. That is what I want. Coach again. The +4, there's only so much you can do here. There's only so much you can do here. Alright, high horsepower going into the Shroom. It actually just kills the Shroom, so now we're +5. Okay. The taunt is gone. Alright. Your Scream Tail is chipped, your Gothitelle is chipped. You gotta bring something in. It's probably... Is it Koraidon or is it the Giratina? Koraidon? That's not gonna do it. Bro, I'm going to wall this thing. That's just not it, man. Alright. Look, he can go for the double if he wants. But I can Trick Room now. He can taunt me if he wants. But, like, I can just go Glacial here. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm Encored into high horsepower. Like, this is still gonna do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still gonna do a lot. High horsepower, and I'm just going to... What's my... Dude, I'm plus this. Alright, let's go this. High horsepower here. Oh yeah, wait. Alright, I can only coach. That's okay. Alright. So... We're gonna do this. I don't know how you break the Calyrex now. Your fighting move is not gonna do a whole lot. I just coached my way into this. Alright, there's this... Oh, okay. Now we got something. Alright, I can switch that out later. Okay. My coaching is quote-unquote disabled there. There's a close comment. It's not going to do a whole lot here. That tickled. Alright. Defense drops. Okay. There's the life orb. Alright, and here is the high horsepower. Scream Tail, you did your best. Alright. And now we're +6. Bro. Alright, here we go. That's it. I don't know what else you're going to do. There's the Gothitelle. Okay. I would imagine Fake Out comes out here. But I don't think there's a way to really stop the Calyrex now. I'm just going to click the only move I know how to click, and that's that. And I can... That's it. Listen, unless you're Wolf Glick, don't use this stuff, right? Gothitelle, Scream Tail, like, I understand it's like really, really good, but bro, if you don't know how to manage it, that's it. But honestly, we kind of knew what he was trying to do. We were prepared. We know the sets mostly, especially with something like that. You just have to be one step ahead, and that's exactly what we were doing. We were just going for coaching plays, high horsepower instead of Glacial Lance, and then we just became unbreakable, right? And, you know, Gothitelle, Scream Tail, this is just not... There's no damage, right? And then, you know, he tried to get in his damage. By then, it was too late. My Calyrex was +5. Alright, and there's the team one more time. So we got to showcase a lot of the squad. Reshiram is really good at nuking things, right? Some games we didn't even need it. It was just straight up Calyrex winning. Annihilate was useful in 2 games, right? You saw the final Gambit taking out the Koraidon there. And then you saw the game against the shenanigans with the Scream Tail and the Gothitelle. They're just trying to lock you in. But if you're one step ahead, you know, coaching was actually just really, really useful. You could not break through the Calyrex. And I knew that was the best way to go, just because... even if he managed to get in the Giratina and the Koraidon, if I just had enough defense, I would eventually break through. And he can't lock me out of 2 moves. He can only lock me out of 1. And of course, it's going to be the Glacial Lance. So if you just fear the disable, just click another move and then you're fine. You still have something to attack with, right? But anyway, other than that, Instant was relatively useful again. You saw the board state that I was going in the first game where I just manage to go for the Incin and then just fake out Trick Room and just win from there. That's always going to be a play available. But yeah, this is a cool team. So again, thanks to Brian. We'll link their credentials in the video description below. Follow them on Twitter. But yeah, let me know if there's something else you think we can showcase on the channel. I've got a few plans and a few teams that I want to show off here, as we head into July. I also want to do a couple more team building videos on some of the more niche archetypes, so stay tuned for that, especially Giratina. That has been in the works for a while now. I think it's time we release it, and we're still working on a couple of July rentals as well. All right, but that's it. We'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.